Everybody, we're live. Welcome to Vaguely News with Rob Vega, also known as Vaguely True. It is March 28th, 2026, and we'll be right back after this.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Well, here we go. It's the man that promises you nothing and delivers. It's the veritable man motor mouth. It's Road Woods who feels the need to call himself Rob Vega. It somehow makes him feel important. Anyway, do have a listen and try not to throw up.
Hey, we're back, everybody, and nobody threw up. And Rob's gone, and there you have it. Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive.
Here, let me just do it. Is that better? There you go. Now you're not. Now it won't be. You won't scare the kids. So good. Yeah. Oh, so on our side of the planet, the good stuff's going on. Donald Trump's going to finally take over Cuba, so we get Cuban cigars. So
cool. I know you're happy about that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I've talked to Donnie. I get to become the cigar czar.
How is he? Is he right?
Donnie's good. You know, he's got a little bruise on his hand.
Seems quite tired.
Oh, he's old. Tired. You know, he's like 97 years old. He eats McDonald's and Asian women, and this is what happens. You got to pick. You can't have McDonald's and Asian women. You got to have one or the other. So, yeah, you got to, and you got to go for the healthy choice, which is McDonald's. So there you go. So,
sorry, did you say Asian women?
I didn't think I stuttered. I thought exactly what I said was Asian women. Yeah, he does. He's both. You know, he likes his me so horny, and that's good. And the good thing is, after you eat one, you're horny an hour later. It's just like the food. It's perfect. This isn't a kid's show, is it?
I'm going to leave that alone there. Just put it right there, man.
Would you? You should. I think we should go down this rabbit hole. The people in Japan and China are going to love us. Hey, everyone in Vietnam, good afternoon to you. So,
Thailand especially, yes. Okay.
I don't know. They got ladyboys there. It's a whole thing.
What have I got for you? Okay, so listen. The one thing I wanted to do differently is I wanted to talk more about this than that.
Your penis? Your penis? You want to talk about your penis? Huh?
Well, no, not that.
Okay.
Wow. What kind of cigars have you been smoking, my friend?
Wow.
Maybe it's good that you're going to get Cuban cigars.
Can I tell you,
the brand is...
I've been smoking good Cuban cigars, but because now I'm back in the Big Apple, I have my 50 and 40-year-old Macallan and my Glen Fargus. So every Scotch now is you get to drink a bottle of Scotch with every cigar.
I don't know what that means.
That means it's good Scotch.
Oh, okay. All right.
For the lay people.
Okay, for the lay people. Right. So there's an interesting thing that I realized that I came across the other day. I realized, so you've obviously got your Trump people in the US that support them. There they are. And then here you've got your ANC supporters.
Yes, we do.
And what I find there's actually quite a link between the two.
Okay.
And the link is, and I came across this the other day. I was watching a chap who was talking about what do you do if you want to get through to one of those groups of supporters? And the answer is there's nothing you can do because their thought processes. Not disparaging them, but because of who they support.
Right.
And again, just passing on the message, I thought it was interesting. Depending on who they support, whether it's the government here or Trump there, basically the government in both countries.
Yeah. Communist bastards.
Their thought, their critical thinking has been shut down.
Right.
And they say this is part of a strategy that cults use. So what they do is they teach you a couple of words to just push out as soon as you get attacked. Okay. So for example, if you said to me, imagine I'm one of those Trump supporter people, and you said to me, yeah, but Trump this, Trump that. And then I would just fire back one of four things. I would say TDS, fake news, or witch hunt. And what was my deep state. So I just fire those four. Doesn't matter what you say to me. Doesn't matter what you say. I don't actually have to think or engage with you on any kind of fact. So you say, but Donald Trump did fake news. Fake news. So I'm not even at that point, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about your fact. And here you've got the same thing. Now, just to be very clear, anybody that's younger than 90 in this particular country, as in
Right.
South Africa, who happens to look like me with a pale complexion, anybody who has been fortunate enough to live here, and this is a good country. It's a beautiful country. There's no question. I've lived in countries around the world. This is, and by the way, a recent poll said South Africa is the friendliest country. I don't know who they were talking to, but apparently we're people are very friendly. I'm always wary of polls though, because
I know, because once the Germans rolled through the Poles in the 30s, you can't trust them for anything. And the fact that they can't spell toboggan is also very, very bad, I think.
Your favorite. But so the people here that are quite besotted with the ANC, I'm not one of those people. But it's nothing to do with color. I've always said in modern day South Africa, the color that you've got to think of is green, not black or white.
Right.
And as soon as I say that, those words that just pop out will be white, racist, loves apartheid. You know that. So it's built into the psyche. So if I present a fact to someone who is an ANC supporter here, and you can support whoever you want, that's a free country, but and certainly I would have no trouble if someone presented me with a fact and said, so I like the DA, but not because I'm white, because I like things to work. If you look at Cape Town and Joburg, there's the one's working, the one's not. Simple. This is not about color or politics or apartheid or black white. It's just people go and do their job. They don't steal. And they get it done. It's as simple as that. And if you visit both cities, I'm not saying Cape Town's perfect, but it certainly is better run than Joburg. So just on that, if you take color out of it, just on service delivery, performance, and you're an objective third party, and you go, well, the one's working, the one isn't. Okay, that's it. That's as far as you. So if someone presented me with a fact that said, it looks like the DA have got this underground bunker and they're going to bring back all these apartheid people. Look, we've got photographs. It's been verified by, I don't know, 5 reporters and so on. I go, oh, that's something we should look at. We should think about that. I am not closed to a fact that opposes my current viewpoint, which is what I think everybody should be. You should have those doors should be open all the time. So your opinion is malleable. It can move. Facts are one thing. Opinions change. And the crazy thing is I've noticed, and a lot of I've got mates in the US who are big fans of Donald. That's fine. And they can explain why that is. But what I've noticed, a lot of what they say is it's not always about Trump. It's about what Biden was. So they're very anti something. So therefore they'll just go here. You get some people who like Don. They say he's a man. He said, I'm going to do this, and he did it. And one has to concede, or not concede, but acknowledge he did that. There's a lot of things that he's doing, which he said he was going to do.
He raised oil prices. He had a war. He's doing a lot of good things. And there you go.
But so people, they go, no, we respect that. We don't like that, so therefore we like that. Or we don't like that, we'll put up with this.
Correct.
That's it. And a lot of people have said, you don't have to like the man, but at least he's restored pride, he's restored power to the American brand. I mean, that's what they're saying. No, hang on.
I know but that would be wrong.
Steve, hold it. No, you've got a different view. I am talking about people that do support him. I'm talking about the people who do support him. It's not about, I'm talking about them. That's what they enjoy. That's what they respect. You have to, if you want people to respect your point of view, you have to look at theirs. And
we do.
But jokes aside, this is where the problem.
Oh,
what happens? Hang on, Steve, hold it. What I'm saying is, it's a gang mentality. That's the problem. So I'm in the Trump camp, or I'm in the non-Trump camp. So I've got TDS, or I'm with Trump. And I'm saying the same thing is happening here in South Africa. You've got people who are pro-ANC or pro-DA, and they're in those camps. And I'm saying that these politics are not about camps. It's about you personally, you individually. And what happens is people enjoy the security of being in a camp, and they go, right, what are the buzzwords? That's what I'm going to fire at the other camp, without actually thinking what people are saying. No political party is perfect. No political party can say we've got everything sorted. Impossible. My favorite is when politicians stand up and they say we're going to create jobs. No, you're not. Politicians don't create jobs. Business creates jobs. Politicians create an environment that businesses feel comfortable in. They create the jobs. And if you look at this country, a lot of politics has been used to justify a lot of the policy. Previous politics, racism, oppression, all that has been fed into a corporate ideology which excludes people who weren't part of that. So they're going, we don't like that. That's why we don't like what the ANC is about. Can we rather talk about merit as opposed to color and race and a legacy of hatred? We want to talk about green, not black and white. People are black, people are white, whatever. It doesn't speak to any form of mental acuity and ability. And this is what, I don't know about the US, but certainly in South Africa, people that look like me were hoping for. This is what we want. Let's get rid of all that apartheid crap and let's all get together and compete. Now, if you're talking about the past and the imbalances, good, take my taxes, then build something. If you feel like there are millions of black folk who haven't had a chance, then take my money and go and build something, build schools, help people. That hasn't happened. Every day we are confronted by another corruption story. We just today, there's a whole thing that's come out. We're at a hospital here called the Tembisa Hospital, where they looted, as in created these shell companies and moved money around, and they estimate about 2 billion rand was stolen from this hospital. And the crazy thing is, the people who would have been helped by that hospital are from the very same communities that vote for the people that are in government right now. It makes no sense.
Right.
So it's not about black and white, it's about green, and it's about being accountable for your actions, not your melanin content. Go.
First of all, it's always been about green, so it's never about race. It's always about money. So let's just, it's always been, I mean, since day one, let's just throw that out. The other thing, when you talk about Trump saying made America this, made America that, when Trump yesterday threatened to bomb one of our allies, Omar, because they weren't going to get in line, that's an issue. When you travel abroad or on abroad, either, depending on your thing, when I'm overseas, people ask that America is not what America was. People are just sort of like, they hate the country, they hate the president, but they love, like, an American person. They love you because you're you. So Trump hasn't done anything. Yes, some of his stuff I agree with. 90% of it I don't. The problem is that the way he says it and does it, and now he's getting to a point where I think he does think he's a king, and that's scary. What we did in Iran. Wait, there's nuclear? Then if you don't want them to have nuclear weapons, bomb them back to the Stone Age. Stop threatening already. Put your big boy pants on. You got, what's his face, the Fox News guy running the Department of Defense. I'm sorry, the Department of War, because we're back in the 30s. Then have him bomb them back to, like, the Stone Age. Who gives a shit? Take it over and be an imperialist country like Britain was 200 years ago. But enough of the rhetoric. It's getting monotonous. Nobody cares. Nobody respects the country anymore. And people that I talk to globally and that I deal with, they love people. Like, people are great. It's just they don't like our politics. But our whole problem is our political system, kind of like what yours is. Our political system is basically greed is good. Insider trading is what Congress and the Senate can do because they're allowed to have information before the public. So as long as they're making money, nobody wants to leave. They don't really give a shit about the people. I go back to something I've been saying now for 3 years, and we started it on the Lost Dollar Business Club. At some point, when 7 billion people decide to take a picnic, you are not going to stop them. And you're getting to that point because you see it now. People are getting fed up. People are getting annoyed. That's why you have countries like Singapore, Thailand, UAE. Their residents are fine. They take care of the people. Kuwait takes care of their people. People understand if you don't take care of the people, like with healthcare, food, whatever it might be, you have a problem. And America still hasn't figured that out. And America is in for a rude awakening.
But Steve, I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain some parallels between the US and
Right.
South Africa. And so what I'm saying is that taking all the boundaries away, all the issues, whatever, the regional issues and so on, there's the commonality. There's a gang culture in both countries. I'm in this camp, you're in that camp. We don't listen to each other. We don't discuss. We know, this gives me security. I'm part of this party. And I'm saying, get out of that. I mean, I go back to this. We said this before. When George Washington finished his term, he in his speech, he said, please avoid parties. Avoid that. I don't believe in parties. It's about an individual. It's about what you can bring. It's about not a club. It's like you vote for a lawyer, but then he's part of this organization, and the organization dictates what he can do. I sometimes listen to some of the people that sit around that table. You know, when Donald has the wank fest and everybody sits around the table and tells him and tells him how great he is. I'm going, he cannot possibly believe that they mean that. There's no way.
He does. He does.
Hang on. No, Steve, let me finish. I don't believe that. I know. Yes, he wants to believe that. And the people around the table, they must be looking at each other going, what the hell are we doing? I mean, what is this? No one wants that. No one cares about that. As you say, the issues that affect people, how does that help when people keep licking his balls every time they have that's not what people want. These fancy people in the US and in South Africa, these suits that walk around and say, you serve us, you work for us. Why are you sitting in a cabinet meeting telling everybody how fantastic you are? We the people that count, the ordinary people, we the people, by the people. And in both countries, you've got these politicians who think they're above everything. I mean, you had that thing now where I don't want to comment too much on it, that fund that he wanted to create. The fund wasn't
the $1 billion fund.
The 1.76 billion. The thing that, I don't know about you, but the thing that bothered me most about it wasn't the money. It was the condition that they were never going to go after him for anything else. What is it? Why would you put that in?
Because he knows he's going to go to jail.
I wouldn't, if you've got Steve, if you, in other words, let me give you an example. I sit here and I go, listen, Steve, we need to make an agreement, you and I, that you are never going to go, you're never going to check any communication between your wife and me.
All right.
What communication? So if I've got nothing to hide, why would I particularly ring fence that? Just, mate, you're a citizen, whether you're the president or you're a guy that sweeps the street, you're a citizen of the country. You obey the same rules. If you have screwed the state or the government on taxes, then you are liable just like everyone else. Who the hell do you think you are? The fund is not the issue, like I said. It's the term. You may not prosecute me for anything. Well, what is so special about you? Why is you supposed to be a man of the people? Now I'm saying we've got the same thing here. We've got these politicians. It's not actually as different as you might think. It's the same king mentality. I'm this, I'm that. And I say, but you were made, you were created, you were appointed by ordinary people. They are your boss. Those are the people that you need to answer to. And they just, I can't be asked about those other countries you mentioned. If things are going fine, that's great. But in both of in the US and South Africa right now, you've got politicians who are not nervous about anything. I'm just the greatest. I'm the best. Yep. And that's the problem. That is the problem for me. Is this like this to all the people? I'm going to do whatever I want. No, mate, you run for public office because you serve the public.
Not in our country. In our country, you serve your own person and your own service.
Okay, Steve, look, I don't take this the wrong way. Everybody knows about America and what's going on. Right. People don't really know about what's happening here unless you sit and watch some bullshit White House meeting where they darken the lights and play weird videos and you think, oh, well, that must be South Africa. Bullshit. Bullshit. So I'm wary. I don't want to sit and comment on all the intricacies of a country I know nothing about. I am talking about this one and what it claims to be and what it's delivering, which is nothing.
Right.
You know, they talk about this these laws where you have to employ people of a certain color and a certain melanin content. We are 32 years into a new democracy, and we're still worrying about what people look like. So my kids are in their 20s, so they were never, ever at all part of whatever that was. But they are subject to these laws which preclude them based upon this. Now, there are ways and means around it. I mean, companies operate. But if you want to deal with the government and you look like me, you can forget about it.
Right.
And so we it's like we've gone 40, 50 years back, except it's just done that. It's just switched around. And when you have a president of this country who is worth 6.4 billion rand, which is a lot of dollars too, who stands up and tells you how he's in touch with the ordinary people and what he's done. He is divorced from reality. His brother-in-law has got mines and companies and corporations. It's just ludicrous. And again, you've got Donald there. Whatever. I'm not going to criticize him. I don't know him personally. I'm not going to. This isn't a personal attack, but he is worth billions. And yet he will go to rallies and stuff and say how he's with the people. Impossible. It is impossible. Impossible. And it would be better if he said that. And it would be better for our one who said that too. Look, I'm a wealthy man. I've done well. I must admit I've lost a little bit of touch with. Just be honest about it. But you can't claim to be a working man when you're worth billions. You have no idea what people are facing. And then you bring in all sorts of historical crap in your case and in our case as well. You start going backwards in time and in history. I mean, I heard today he wants to go after that woman Jean Carroll, he wants to go after her. Look, we've got to find something wrong with her. No, mate, you lost the case. Grow up. And it's the same here. And every day I see the parallels are extraordinary. The people look a little different, but the attitudes and the motivations are identical. It's crazy. This might as well be the United States of Africa, USA, right here too. Anyway.
Oh, cool. The 53rd state. What do you have? Do you have cigars there? Anything I can use and export? Yeah, enlightening stuff. Crap then.
No. But got great meat. Great meat.
Oh, got Asians, huh? Anyway, so here's part of the thing that you have to look at is that the problem is that when you become a politician, like we'll look at AOC, right? She's a chick from Brooklyn, 20-something years old. She becomes whatever she is, a congresswoman, a senator, who cares? Because she's an idiot. However, she becomes whatever, and she's like, I was a waitress. Nobody cares. Now, 5-10 years later, she doesn't remember. And that's the problem. The nouveau riche, and that includes most of the tech idiots, all nouveau riche. The problem is it's all about them. Yeah. Nobody's worried about, hey, if we don't give back, what are we going to do? And that's the problem I have associates and acquaintances and friends. When we have cigars, we sit around and discuss this because to us, this is a concerning matter. What's going to happen if and when 7 billion people decide to take a picnic? What are you going to do?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, they get tired and they go, you know what? Fuck you, rich people. We're tired of this bullshit. And you know what? Fuck you. And they go, get the pitchforks and torches out, and they're like, screw it. And
that picnic.
That kind of picnic. And you have 7 billion of them. And let's just say there's 1 billion people that are worth anywhere from, we'll say, $1 million up to whatever stupid money. You don't have enough people to protect you if 7 billion or 7.5 billion decide to go fuck you. Because part of that is going to be your military. That's going to be your law enforcement. I mean, the law enforcement, for the most part, doesn't do shit anyway in a lot of cities. And, because they're afraid of getting sued. I had a conversation a couple months back with a guy who just retired from a police department. I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to do the slip it in thing. But he said the last 5 years were terrible to fund the police. You have to go like with 4 guys on even a barking dog call because we're afraid we're going to get sued. It's ridiculous. And it's Austin. But anyway, so I was sitting with him and he was telling me this. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding. So the problem is that America, and to one of these guys' points, as he wrote in here, weakness and all this other stuff, it's the pussification of not just our country, the world. Yeah. There's a certain group of people at a certain age that we know what it's like to work. Our grandfathers would say, Whether you're worth $1 or $1 billion, you work. You have to be a productive member of society. You got to give back. You have to make sure. And then you have the nouveau riche that are just like me, 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 me. How many islands can I buy? How many houses can I own? And you know what? I'm all for it. But if you don't take care of the other people, what are you going to do? Because when they burn your house down, the fire, this is what they don't think through. They think because they have all this money, to your point, they're isolated.
Steve, I need to jump in there. It's interesting that you keep mentioning these little people and how
I like the little people.
But here's the weird thing. And maybe I might have this wrong, but a large chunk, maybe all of it, maybe some of it, a large chunk, I'm going to make the full point here. A large chunk of the people in the US who support Trump, not well off, not a lot of money. They're a little, I guess from an American point of view, they could be considered poor. Is 50-50. That fair?
I think you have the 50-50. You have 50% rich thinking.
There's a big chunk of poor people who think he's great. He's great. Am I right?
I think so.
We have a very similar scenario here. So to put it in political perspective, a lot of the damage that the ANC have done, and not deliberately, they've done it by not doing anything. I don't want to list it. Literally the management. I wouldn't do the job. So you wouldn't appoint me because I would screw it up. So this isn't a black-white thing again. I got to bring this up again because I know someone's going to say, is it about black? No, it's not. It's about competency. It's about earning your stripes before you can do the job. You can't just get a job because of this. You've got to compete with everybody. And then the best man gets the job, regardless of what we look like. And then that person gets the job and they hopefully deliver. We have from a political point of view, that doesn't work. You need to show manifest change. Look, we've changed the demographic look of corporate South Africa, for example. We're doing a good job. But what have you done? How have you changed things? You can put whoever you like in office, but they need to be able to do the job. There are a lot of influencers here in this country of color who have said, and they weren't part of what we had. They weren't part of the apartheid system. So they're sort of 35 and below. And they've come along and looked at what their parents and people have done and said, why did you get rid of all those people that had all that knowledge? Why did you just get rid of them? I thought we were supposed to be anti-racism and anti-segregation. So you just got rid of them because it was politically expedient. Why not keep them, learn from them, get them to train everybody else, and then we do this together? Why would you just deliberately exclude them? Okay, I know what the answer is, because they excluded us in the past.
Right.
So we just flip the table. But what you do is you're throwing away the baby with the bathwater. You're getting rid of someone just because of what they look like. Doesn't matter what their viewpoints are. You're gone. You don't look right. You must be a Nazi or a racist to get going, and your kids as well. So you push that capital, that intellectual resource away, and you stick someone in there who may be just as smart, but without the experience. So they now get in that position. They look right, but the problem is they don't have every job requires those little things that they don't teach you in university and on the course. You got to learn that contacts, the bumps, the potential hazards that can happen. Maybe you got a contact who can get you that, and another contact can get you that. And of course, you've done the job, so you know what could happen. You know the pitfalls. You can see them. You need to be able to pass that information on to someone else who's got all the qualifications, but not the experience. But now you've chased them all away. And now we sit with a situation where we've got all these people who can't administer anything. And then the pressure is on. They don't know what they're doing. It's not because of their IQ. It's because of their lack of experience. By the same token, even if I look this way, it doesn't mean just by default I can run a company. I can't. That's not what I do. So you've put people in positions of power that obviously will take the salary, but they're not equipped yet. They haven't been mentored properly. So we've got municipalities throughout this country that are destroyed. They're disintegrating. And it's not because the people aren't intelligent, it's they don't know how to do it. They didn't learn from anybody. They learned from no one. They just went, money, and away you go. And now, of course, you now create a situation where you have created this black-white situation where you've got all the people in leadership positions, certainly in government, who are not doing a great job. Is it because of what they look like? No, not at all. But they never had the opportunity to learn from people who'd already done that. We now sit with, and it's not just me saying that. This is from influencers of color who have seen that. They know it because they haven't been a part of that legacy of oppression and apartheid and racism. No one here of this persuasion, 5% maybe, thinks that was a good idea. No one. I've actually said to a friend of mine who I work with, I said, the white people that you have a problem with are either dead or they've emigrated.
That's in America.
The people that exactly, you've got all of them. They're moving there, Steve.
I know. I'm aware.
You're getting another 10,000 of them. So the people that have stayed here just wanted to contribute and be a part of something, not be sidelined because of some historical thing. This sins of the father crap has to end, otherwise the country will end. And I don't think it's necessarily peculiar to South Africa. There's a Nigerian influencer that I follow who says this is the story you see throughout the continent. Now he can say that, but apparently I can't. He can say that. And he said, we have sacrificed and we have compromised ourselves because we're so worried about what people look like. What can they deliver? Train people, let them learn. We're all bloody human beings, for God's sake. Stop worrying about, for example, if you put me in charge of a Tupperware club, I would screw it up. It's not because I'm not dumb. Well, I am dumb, but I know nothing about Tupperware, Steve.
Just put your food in it. That's all. And you can figure it out.
That's it. All right.
Put your food in it, you'll be fine.
And it's the same thing. I work as a voice actor, and the things that I've learned over the years, it's 30 years of stuff that I could, but you won't see it in a book. You won't find it in a course. Occasionally we run courses and we work with people, and people come up to me and they're very curious, interested, and there's an opportunity for me to pass that knowledge on. But if you just exclude me, just take me out of the picture, everything that's in my head, the experience that I have in this field is gone. And that is true of a lot of what is going on here. I'm not saying, again, it's not about ability or intelligence. That's people. People have a brain, that's it. But you need to learn from someone. And if you exclude all those people because of some political expediency, you have what we have right now.
Or where we're going.
And we need to get away from that. And also get away from the gang culture. Stop being about this party, political party, that political party, black, white, German, Italian, whatever it is.
Well, the Germans.
It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You and I have had this discussion. It means absolutely bugger. What can you produce? What are your thoughts? Have you got a better way of doing it? What the hell is it going to do with what I look like or what my culture is or where I've come from? Nothing. Well, get out of your gang and deliver something. That's all I'm saying.
That's the problem is we've been a gang mentality since day one. So that's an issue. By the way, to answer your question, 52% of the people that voted for Trump in the last election made less than $100,000 a year. So there you go. And now they're worth less because, well, we have gas prices and eggs and everything are going up. So congratulations, smart choice. Anyway, the problem that we have in our country, not South Africa, is that because everyone's like, you have to be part of a gang. In this 5 years to have a presidential candidate, I like the way Europe does it. The election's on Thursday. Okay, good. It's like, boom.
10 days later.
I don't need like 6 months of your bullshit. I just get it over with. And I've said this before. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm nothing. I mean, because it's an embarrassing joke, and sometimes being an American is as well. So it's very much, how do we get back to our roots? And I don't mean the book that Alex Guinness wrote many years ago. It was a very good movie. But anyway, I want to get back to like, how do we just make, and forget America great, how do we just make America America? Like, we have 300 plus million people here of every color and every religion. You're male or female. We're not going to go through this other ridiculous crap. I could care less about that. Your pronouns are either you're a girl or you're a boy. Done. Right? That's it. The other crap I don't care about. The LGBTQ, respect you, but don't make me have to start figuring out what you are because I don't care. You're a human being. Full stop. That's what we are.
It.
So
That's
yeah,
it.
we have 360. Right. We have 360 million human beings living in America.
Yep.
Why can't we figure out how we make life better for the 360 million human beings here? And how we say, hey, let's make sure your kids don't go to bed at night hungry. Let's make sure you have proper Medicare. Well, so can I, but it's embarrassing.
No. I can answer why. Why that isn't being done. It seems so simple because, again, I bring back to this thing where you can. There's a parallel between the two countries.
Yeah.
South Africa and the US both have incredibly bright people, tremendous resources, space. Again, bright people. There's nothing stopping both countries from doing whatever great things, brilliant things, and the evidence is there. So you talk about why isn't that happening now? It is because people are walking backwards into the future. They are walking backwards into the future. So everything I do is based on what was. So this is the parallel I'm talking about. So anything that's done in South Africa politically is the reference is the past.
Right.
I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying we're going to do this policy because that's what happened. We're going back. We're looking at that. We're not looking forward. We're looking back.
Right.
It's not even about learning from history. It's about that will be, that's it. We walk backwards. And the same thing that I've found, as I mentioned when we started, if you present a fact to someone and you say, well, look, like you just said, gas prices are up and whatever, so this is not good. Oh, you've fake news, TDS. It's a witch hunt. But hang on. So I haven't listened to you. I can see you're not happy with my king. So I'm going to just, I haven't listened to what you said. And I just have those four, but there's no difference here. So if I were to stand up and I would criticize, again, there's no political party in this country that I think is perfect. Fact, like you said, you're not Democrat or Republican. I don't think most people are either. People around the world don't necessarily, it's very unusual for any political party to check all your boxes. It just doesn't happen. That's why you have a range. And I do find it odd that America's only got two. You need more, but we need less. We've got like hundreds of them. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what I'm saying is you pick a party that's closest possibly to what works for you, but again, I've always said, if someone points something out and they go, oh, that's better, well, then I will shift. We should all be doing that. And then that's called looking forward. Which party is going to work? Be greedy. Be greedy. What are they going to do? What are they going to do for my family? Really? Not some political message, because as we've said before, what I've noticed, certainly in the US, a lot of what's being done seems to be, it's like a revenge mentality. Oh, but look what they did. Look what they did. Well, that wasn't right either. We're not saying that's right, but what you're doing is also wrong. Let's do the third thing, the other thing that neither one of these two people did, and that will pull us into the future. And it's the same thing with what we've got here. You know, if I stand up and I criticize the government, they go, oh, you're racist, you hate black people. No, I don't. But those people, whatever their color is, are talking the biggest lot of crap. And this is why. I'm not allowed to say that. And then we have those, oh, he's a racist, oh, he's a white guy, what does he know?
Right.
Not that I'm a human being and I'm attacking an outdated point of view, which is based on some historical thing that doesn't actually serve anybody right now or into the future. So we're stuck on that. We're both going backwards into the future. Look what happened. Oh, you used to own this house. I own it now. And screw you and your children. Bye-bye. Great. Well, eventually, the people that look like me, well, I built that house. They built it. And they could help you maintain. Oh, okay. Have fun with it. So no one's learning. No one's learning. If I went to, let's say I decided to move to Iceland. I believe it's a beautiful country.
It's very icy.
It is very icy. I wouldn't know anything about it. In fact, I've never been there. And if I took over, they said, right, we're on an anti-Nordic drive. We don't want Nordic people or Scandinavian people in charge of, you know, there have been these Europeans that have come through and so now they get to run everything. I am using a horrible metaphor, but all right, Roald, off you go. You have a Viking name. Off you go. In you go.
There you go.
I would, and I get rid of all the people that had built what I was running. I wouldn't know what I was doing. So within a couple of years, someone could make the argument that, oh, so people that look like Roald, they screw everything up because we've put him in Iceland, we've put him in charge, and look at that. It's no land now. It's gone from Iceland to no land. Nothing. He's killed it. So because I got rid of all the people that built it, they're gone. I don't want them. Goodbye. Or I must start something new. But I can't do that. I can't run that because my people, the where I come from, didn't have anything to do with that. That doesn't mean I can't learn. Not at all. That doesn't mean I can't learn or be included in that. But I need those people to stay. I need them to teach me so I can see how it's done. And then we can all join the club. I don't start kicking people out of the club. I need them there. I need them to stay. That metaphorically is what has happened here. All the people, right there, whatever you may think of their past or whatever, they built that. They built it. They know how it works. So keep them. And you can mandate they need to show you how it works. And that's it. Then you're good. But if you tell them all to go away or you get rid of them for political expediency, then you compromise your own life and your own futures. And then the people that vote for you, like, oh, yeah, get rid of all those people, they suffer. They're the ones that suffer. Not me. They do.
And that's what's going on now.
Ridiculous about it. We've got all kinds of service delivery problems. And honestly, Steve, the people that are suffering most are the people that voted for the government.
Right.
So well done. Who are you serving? What have you built?
They don't think. It's terrible. Well, and kind of like over here, I mean, so to your point, we go backwards to go forward. We're not really going forward. We keep going backwards. But the problem is here, you can only blame, the past administration so many times. There's an old proverb about the Russian premier. So the one Russian premier is leaving. He says to the other Russian premier, I left you 2 letters in the desk. He goes, okay. He says, when the shit hits the fan, you open up the letters. And he goes, okay. So he's in the job a few years. Shit hits the fan. He opens up the first letter, says, blame me. So he blames the past administration. Got it. No problem. Perfect. A few years later, shit hits the fan again. Opens up the second letter. He says, write 2 letters. So it's kind of what we do here in America. It's like Trump.
And here too.
And here too. Well, globally, it's like Trump goes, oh, it's Biden. It's the Democrats. He says, let's just stop with the bullshit. Great that your family's made billions of dollars since you've been president. That's great. Yeah. Happy for you. That's capitalism. All for it. However, why don't we propel the country forward? I don't think we really needed a new ballroom for $1 billion. You probably could have put that somewhere else. I think you need to worry about, I don't know, education, healthcare. Now, if you're just trying to dumb down the planet so the top 1% are going to rule all the people, great. Universal basic income, give everybody $500,000 a year, have robots start doing everything, and then everyone will be stupid and you can do whatever you want. But if you're not going to do that...
Like Wally.
Yeah, like Wally. But my point is, if you're not going to do that, once again, you have 360 million human beings in America, and let's just say 250 of them aren't doing well, the picnic's going to end. And then what are you going to do?
But Steve, here's the thing. I want to say something else, and that is that you as a leader, I don't know if you ever remember the movie Ants. It was
yes, I do. Movie. With what's his face?
Kevin Spacey was the lead ant, or grasshopper, or whatever it was.
Right.
And I remember nothing about the movie except the quote where he says, "Oh, under new management, are we? First rule of leadership: everything is your fault. So when you take over, goodbye past. It's gone. Goodbye. Cheers. Everything from this point on that happens is your fault, even if it was a shit show when you walked in.
Correct.
It is now your shit show. No one said you had to accept the job, but if you accept the job, you accept that as well. You you draw a line in the sand and you say, right, from now on, everything is my fault. I am a leader. I am serving people. That's what it is. I remember on one of the talk shows, somebody was talking about how Kamala Harris was doing and how she had started cratering. And the guy said, it's a very interesting thing. When she was just talking about herself and her plan, she was doing fine. But as soon as she started talking about Trump and and he did that, she died. So that's the point. So if Trump did that and our lot did that as well, they said, we don't. What about the past? We don't talk about the past. I am now in charge. I am the president.
Correct.
It is my fault.
Right.
Everything is my fault. I don't have to have this job. But if I accept the election, the results of the election, I take this job. I don't blame anybody before. What's that going to do? How would that help anything? You voted for me because you didn't like what was. But from now on, it's me, and I've been put in office, put in power to fix it. So I move forward. I don't look back. I move forward. I look forward. What can we do? It's tough. There's a guy who writes like the Jack Reacher series, Lee Child. I think his name's actually Jason Grant or whatever. But anyway, his pen name is Lee Child, and he said, you'll understand what I'm saying. He said in writing, because this is the way he writes. He said, "There's my starting point. There's my end point, and away I go. Type away, and Jack does this, and Jack does this." He said, "You'll get to the end or near the end of a chapter, and you find yourself in a situation where your character is in an impossible situation. You have written him. You have written him into that." And he said, and then you stand back, you review your writing, and you go, "Oh, I should take that away." No, you don't take that away. You don't take that away. You are now the reader as well as the writer. You have to write. You have to write your way out of that. You have to figure it out. Now, the same thing is true if you accept. No one says you have to be president, but if you put yourself up for election, just know that's probably what's going to happen. If you get the job, chances are the guy before you or the party before you screwed up. So you are definitely taking on. If they were doing a great job, you wouldn't be in office. So it is literally the definition of accepting the result. It's you've got the job because this guy screwed up. The people fired him. I mean, that's exactly what happened. In the US, the people went Democrats, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden had that thing on TV, whatever it is. We're firing that. He's fired. Goodbye. It's all. We know it's bad. We know it's bad. Right, Don, get on with it. And then Don keeps talking about them. No, we know that. We know about that. Sleepy Joe, all that. It's fine. But what are you doing? And it's the same thing here. Yes, apartheid sucked. It was terrible. I can't even imagine. But what do? Do we keep talking about the past, or do we create something for the future? And yes, you can say that. Literally, as we've said on the show before, Steve, every community, everyone, and you always talk about yourself. Say it. The oppression. Yes, Jews, exactly. Okay. Ha ha ha. Moment of brevity. Everybody has been oppressed by someone else throughout the ages. If we're going to start measuring who's been oppressed more, we'll be out all day. So
the Jews. We are oppressed by more.
Would you say? Okay, fine. Yeah. But
that's why we own everything, because you oppressed us, and now we just took it all over.
Right. So the moral of the story is, if you're oppressed, take it over.
That's right. That's how we look at it. See, really what we need, and this is the problem in America right now, what we need we need that, but we need a Jewish president and we need a woman Jewish president that's like a grandma, because she'll come in and she'll be like golden in my ear. She'll just fix it. She's not going to, there's no bullshit. And this is the problem. Bernie Sanders is a wonderful Jewish grandma, but no. He's near death. Like Bernie, one slip and an ice and done. We need like a 50-year-old Jewish grandma.
Bernie's going to live to 200.
I think Bernie is 200. I talked to him the other day.
And he is crazy how sharp he is. He's amazing. Even if you don't like him, you have to concede. No, but even if you don't, if you think he's a communist or something, if you're one of those people, you have to concede. The man...
He's very sharp.
First of all, he stayed with the same message for decades, and he's as sharp as can be. He's
like in Vermont or something. There's only 6 people, so getting elected to be senator there, it's not like it's a tough job. If I moved to Vermont, I could become senator. I could go, Bernie. I'm gonna be the other Jew that runs. And Bernie's gonna be like, "Hey, there's another Jew." It'd be great. But my point of this is that we probably need a fiscally responsible, like, make America strong and great and wonderful and powerful, but like, hey, to your point, let's go forward. Let's not blame the past. I would love to see a politician get up there and say, I don't know what I'm doing because I've never been president. I'm going to do the best job I can. And to your point, everything that happened in the past is instead of blaming it on everybody, it's my fault. We're going to try to fix it. If you got a Congress and a Senate together that between all of them had IQ points, that would be beauty. But if you got that and they weren't so much worried about their little pocket and their little this. And they said, how do we make America as a whole function as a proper country? Oh my God, we would be like we'd be like Singapore. We'd function like a real company. People would have health care. Kids wouldn't go to bed tired and without food. People would have housing. There'd be electric. Oh my goodness. Dogs and cats would be living together in sin. It would be awesome. I'm very excited about this, but it won't happen. And that's why we're all going to live on Pluto, according to Elon Musk. So I got that going for me. So,
yeah, well, as I say, a lot of parallels between the US and South Africa, and it's.
Do you have any Jews in South Africa? I'm just curious. Or you didn't kill any of those? Right? You got a couple, like 6?
My son's dating one, so
He's dealing. We got the memo. Just to let you know, it's right here. I got the memo that he's dating. We want to say thank you. So
yes, very welcome. Very welcome.
And here's the good thing: if they have a baby, your child will be Jewish because the mother's Jewish. Just to let you know. That's right.
Well, apparently my father was. So there you go.
Oh, so you're a Jew? No, it doesn't count. Mom has to be Jew.
Yeah, you see, that's the problem. I was raised non-Jewish.
Non-Jewish. Well, I know.
Whatever.
It's the swastika behind the curtain. I understand. It's okay. Right. We own everything. Thank God we have space lasers. So we own everything. It's true. I read it in a book. It's got to be true.
No, it's true.
It's true. The banking, the money, we got it all. It's good to be Jew. So, in fact, we talked about that on the cigar show Saturday. We made a joke about that. I said something about Riz's people. He goes, your people. And then we go down the Jewish path. Because one of the guys that watches the show is very Jewish, and he's worried about that. Yeah.
Steve, I must tell you, a mate of mine, his mum, there's no filter. I think she's about 80 odd. And one of the joys,
God bless her.
One of the joys about old ladies, not all of them, but certainly a lot of them, is they lose that filter, which is actually a good thing. It can be funny. It can be like you'll be going to a store and they want to check a bag. What are you doing? Get out of my stupid bag! Boom, whatever. And we were chatting about my heritage, which is, as you say, my father was apparently Jewish. He never told me. He passed away, and then I discovered that, like it was this revelation. And my mom obviously wasn't. And she was sitting across from the table, and she heard us saying, "Oh, so you're Jewish?" And I went, "Well, not really." She said, "No. You're good with the money. You must be Jewish."
Oh my God! But that's
and I sat there and I thought, I don't know whether I've just been. What was that? Was that a compliment? Was it a?
Were you roasted, or did you get a compliment?
Was that a little racist? What was that?
A little bit in the middle. It's like one of those, straight shots. But see, that's what's nice if you can bring the world together, which we never will. Which is good because I own defense stocks, so we should never bring the world together. I mean, Daddy's got to make money. But my point is that if you could bring the world together, it's really humor that does it. I mean, Robin Williams has the greatest line ever. He was in Germany. And he asked the lady, the interviewer was talking to him, and he said, "Did you wonder why the German people don't have a sense of humor?" She asked Robin Williams, and Robin Williams replied, "Did you think maybe you killed them all?" And so the lady just kept going on with the interview, and I'm thinking, that's chutzpah right there. That's chutzpah. That's great. I mean, it's true.
It's an interesting thing. If I listen to some comics, some of these shows, which are essentially comedy shows, but they're very topical, the ones I'm talking about, late night television and even comics. It occurs to me, look, I genuinely believe that a good comedian, a decent comedian is, by virtue of the job that he or she does, they are very smart people. You cannot be dumb and be a good comedian. I don't think that's possible. And what is extraordinary about a lot of the comedians that I've watched, even ones I don't necessarily agree with, these are the people that should be running a country. And that isn't a joke. That is true. They seem to possess an understanding, a full understanding that most ordinary people don't. And in that way, they're able to analyze things, bring things, make things funny. But behind a lot of these jokes are some very, what's the word? I'm not going to say pungent, salient truths. Is that right? Salient? I don't know what
salient, it is. I took some salient earlier. It was beautiful. Put it on a thing.
I'm just pulling. I don't know if that's the right word, but they are stark. They're real. These are horrible truths that we are now kind of making a joke of. But we see them. We understand them. They're there, and because I've put them together in that way, it's. For example, let me give an example of something funny. but not funny. And this is a news story that happened today, and this is the crack I made.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm an intelligent or bright comedian, but
nobody else is either. So you're good.
I try.
Yeah.
So they mentioned the fact that and this is true, the Justice Department here, if you want to call it that, have lost track of about 20-odd thousand parolees.
Nice.
Over the last, yes. So they don't know where these parolees are. So those are they've got to report in. This is the job I'm trying to get. Blah blah blah. I was released from prison early. Blah blah. Parole, whatever. Sure. And they've lost. They can't. Sorry, the word is they haven't lost them. They can't account for.
Oh, they can't account for them. That's nice.
Yeah. And they can't find them. So I said, "Have you tried Parliament?"
What happened?
Well, no, nothing. But the thing is, the reason why it's funny is because half the people in Parliament are. So therein lies the humor. I'm drawing a parallel between what I've said and what a lot of the comedians do, and that's it. That's why it's funny, because it's true. That's why it's funny. And I'm saying because of that truth and that ability to see the truth, I think the US and us too would do very well to get a comedian, honestly, as president. And
but Mel Brooks is too old because he would make a good president because it's good to be king. Hey, are you kidding? Groucho Marx would make a good president, but he's dead too. There's nobody really.
Look at a guy like George Carlin.
Oh, he would have been great.
George Carlin. I mean, are you kidding? Awesome. And the crazy thing is, he was like the forerunner for a lot of what comedians do now. Yeah, he almost created that genre. But the funny, if you go back and listen to what his material was, he was knee deep in it. He was right there with this incredible insight and understanding. I mean, there's that whole routine where he talks about the stuff that you buy to put the stuff in, and then you buy more stuff.
Bigger stuff. Bigger stuff.
And he goes on for 3 minutes of that. Yeah. And then he talks about you and I, there's this big club, and you and I, we're not in it. You know the routine. Yeah. And, when
I was a kid, I had all his albums.
It's funny, but it's true. Yeah. And that's why it's funny and scary. Steve, I have to go.
In that case, kids, it's been a lot of fun to hang out with Rob Vega. We're going to go, and we'll see you guys maybe next week. And here's the ending credits. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Cheers.
Thank you so much for listening to this Old Woods Rob Vega, whatever the hell he wants to call himself, fellow. This podcast thing, it makes him feel very important, and he's a difficult fellow as it is to deal with. So thank you so much for putting up with him, and do take care.